Hello, students of classes 9 to 12, children, parents of students and children studying in 9th to 12th. In this series of mine, What After 12th? I'm here with you again and with a new face. Today, Purnima is here with me, and she is again a bio student, but afterwards she shifted her field from medical to finance. So let's hear about her journey from Purnima only, and see that you can do that also. So that is another option for you all. That's why I've taken this case, that it's not necessary, and no one has put these rules on that if you are taking biology, you have to go for medical only. Or if you have taken commerce, you have to go for CA only. There are lot many opportunities. The only thing is that how much you can explore and how much you can go for. So Purnima is here with us to tell us about her journey. And welcome, Purnima, in my show, What After 12.
Hello and namaste everyone who is watching this video, and thank you for having me on your YouTube channel. And let me take a moment to appreciate your efforts of collating all the experience of others and making a whole series out of it. Hats off to you, and let's see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Purnima. And it's not my efforts alone, it's mine with you all. Because until and unless you people are sharing your stories, I can't do anything. So it's a teamwork. Thank you so much. And I hope that this effort of ours is going to help our students. Okay, to
Sure.
begin with, Purnima, first of all, let us know about your 12th. What were the subjects you offered in 12th? And what was there in your mind when you were doing 12th?
Okay. So, like most of my family members are from medical profession. So watching them and getting inspired, I also wanted to be a doctor one day. So I, without thinking twice, I took biology as my main subject in 12th. So my subjects were PCB, that is physics, chemistry, and biology. And in option, I took maths also because I love to do calculations and stuff. So I took maths, and after my 12th, I appeared for a pre-medical test, and I appeared for that, but like things always don't go as per our plans. So I didn't got selected in government medical college, and that's why I took a shift from my career path, and I uh, admitted to computer applications in my graduation.
Very nice. So, as Purnima told us that she had offered physics, chemistry, and biology as her main subjects in 12th with maths, because she is saying that she loved maths that time, and she took maths as her optional subject. And like all other students, she also had was aiming for medical MBBS course, and for that she gave pre-medical test also, but she wanted admission in a government college only. Purnima, you didn't try any private, or what was the problem with private colleges? Because my
Uh,
students know that also.
Yeah, that is true. But I had this kid of perfection in me. I already had a mindset that I have to go to the government medical college. I was offered dental colleges also, but I was not satisfied with that. So I like I took a turn from my career path, and I would like to give you all the students a tip that never underestimate the gut feeling or your inner voice, because like I had this with me, and because of that only I choose to opt for computer applications after that, because I had given my everything in that 1 year of preparation of medical college, and I didn't get one. So that's okay, and I took a turn to computer applications then.
Very nice, very nice. It's so very valuable tip for our students, that see, you should have a aim with you, and you should put in your 100% for your aim to achieve your goal. But always it is not so. Man proposes and God disposes. So that happens.
Correct.
That happens, and it happens many a times. Not only with Purnima, it happens with many students. And as she said that you should be having a backup plan. You should be exploring other courses also, and you should be having that in one corner of your mind, that if not this plan A, then plan B is ready for me. So that should be the enthusiasm, and that should be the spirit with which the students should prepare for their career. So thank you so much, Purnima, for giving them this strength, that yes, always keep a plan B with you. If the plan A doesn't work, you can always go with plan B, plan C, for that matter.
Yeah, that's true.
And you
That's
said
true.
that you wanted government college only, so you didn't even try for private colleges, and you didn't want
Mhm.
to go for dental and all. So you had set
Mhm.
your mind that if not this, then something else. So that's very
Yeah.
nice. That's very nice. So that shows your decision power, and the students should have that decision making life skill with them. Okay, now let's come to your second step of moving towards your career, that is college. So you said you shifted to computer applications and you did your bachelor's in computer applications. So how was that journey for you? Like, was it difficult for you to understand the subjects which were new for you, or was it okay with the hard work?
Okay, so after 12th, I was not at all prepared for computer applications, but I had this small inclination towards, you can say, finance or risk management or portfolio or stocks, shares. So these things interests me a lot. So for that, I had to learn how to operate a computer or a laptop, because at 12th, I had my full focus on biology subjects itself. So to explore computer more, just to explore computer, I opted for computer application. I discussed with my father, my family members, and they advised me like, okay, this is good field and IT is always booming, so you can go for it, and then later you can decide what career path you have to choose. So I opted for computer applications, and since I got like pretty good percentage in 12th, so I easily got admission in Kota University under BCA. And yeah, and the subject was totally new for me, but since I had a passion for learning computers, it was quite easy at the same time.
Okay, very nice story there of Purnima, that she wanted computer application because she had inclination for management and finance. But for that, she should be knowing the computer operations. And because she had devoted all her time for biology till 12th, so she thought of going for BCA, a totally new field for her, and with the support of her parents, and because of the good percentage in 12th, it was not a difficult task for her to get admission into BCA. And as she said, the passion was there, so wherever there is interest, there are no boundaries, no barriers. So she pursued this BCA, and she came out, successfully completed this bachelor's in computer applications, and now she is a perfect candidate for computer applications. So afterwards, what after BCA?
Okay, so just a small another tip for all the students, that like in BCA coming, it is 3 years course. So after second year, I was sure that I don't have to do MCA because like in computer applications, it was purely languages. So I learned what I have to learn. Like I learned a basic of every computer language like C, C++, Java, HTML, and Visual Basic, macros. This all I have learned basic. And I also learned about certain applications like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, which everyone has to learn in every in one or the other stage of their life. So I had learned this all, and after second year, I thought that I don't have to do MCA because my interest was in finance, and for that only I was learning this BCA. So at that point of time, but I didn't left BCA like that only, because whatever you take, you just have to, you just complete that first. You don't have to like leave that behind. I did my BCA and I did like with flying colors, because I topped the University of Kota and I was awarded gold medal at that time with by a governor of Rajasthan. So don't left the things like that only, just complete that thing. With BCA, I also learned about some commerce related subjects. I did various certification courses of finance that would help me in my post graduation. So I did that also. And after BCA, I made my mind that I have to do MBA in finance. I don't have to do MCA. Many of my lecturers were like, why you want to again change your career path? But in the back of my mind, I was very clear that I don't have to do MCA and go for coding and stuff. My interest was not that. So I again shifted my path to MBA finance.
Very nice. So many turns and twists in your career path, and from one field to another. And one very good thing which you said, which I liked the most, was that if you have taken up any task, you have to complete it first. Don't leave it in between. So, because if you are leaving it in between, you are not benefited from this, whatever time you have spent, already spent in that course or in that career or in that profile. So, the good thing you did was you completed your BCA, but in your mind you had this satisfaction also that whatever you wanted to learn for this about this computer applications, that you have already learned. And as you rightly said, these days everything is online. So Microsoft and Excel and Word, and these are basic things which everybody has to learn, doesn't matter which field they are in. So very nice. And after that, the finance was sticking in your mind. You wanted to go for finance, and so another twist in your path, and you went for finance, and you did your MBA from in finance from ITM Business School, Navi Mumbai, and this is Institute of Technology and Management, and you did a regular course of MBA from this Navi Mumbai. So please tell us about this course. Was there any entrance exam for this MBA? Or was there as per the percentage of your BCA? Okay, first of all, let me congratulate you for being a gold medalist in BCA and the topper of Kota University. Though it was not your field, but the interest was there, the passion was there, and that shows the results. So, how was your entry in MBA? Like, was it a smooth path, or was there any entrance test, or was it difficult to get into a good college for MBA?
Okay, so for MBA, we have one entrance test, that is CAT, Common Admission Test. So that is for MBA. And to crack that, with my third year only of BCA, I started preparing for that. That has like four sections. One is English, one is quants, another is logical reasoning, and the language itself. So these are the four sections of any MBA entrance exam. So after that, you will get one percentile, and according to that percentile, you will be admitted to different colleges in India. And like IIMs are the best colleges in India. If you are getting like 95 and above percentile, there are chances that you will end up into one IIMs. So like my percentile was around 84 or 85, and for that ITM, I got admission in ITM, and ITM was pretty good school, business school, and it has good campus recruitments, and I researched about that and it was pretty good, so I ended up in ITM.
Very nice. So it's good. Another good information for my students is that for getting into a good college for doing MBA, you have to appear for CAT, that is Common Admission Test. And through that test, as per your percentile in that test, you are offered colleges. Because I have seen these days everybody is doing MBA. Every other house is having this MBA coaching and MBA colleges like this. So one should not go for these colleges because these courses in these colleges are not going to help them. So here is one advice for the students, that if you have decided for the MBA, you should go through CAT only. So through CAT, you are getting admission into good colleges who are offering this MBA. And as you said, that best are IIMs, but for that you need percentile of 95 and above, and yours was 85 and above. So you got a pretty good college, business school in Navi Mumbai, and you opted for it because you had researched everything that this is good and they are giving 100% campus recruitments. So that's why you chose this college. Very nice. So how was your journey in the 2 years journey of pursuing your MBA in Navi Mumbai? And what time this TCS came for campus recruitment, and how was that journey?
Okay, so MBA is a 2-year program. So first year is common for all, and after first year we have to take specialization, that is HR or finance or marketing or international businesses. So we have to take specialization, but first year is common for all. In that year, you will focus on every subject, every management aspect, and after that the students are given choice to opt for one specialization. And like in ITM, one reason why I chose ITM was also that they were offering internship of four month internship in any corporate. So in second year, I did my internship with Reliance Jio, and that was a pretty good experience for me. In that, I was in communication department, so it was a nice experience for me. So 4 months I was with Reliance Jio, and and like in second year, companies started coming for campus recruitments. So after we are done with our internships, the recruitments were on in the campus. And like for marketing, there were a lot of companies which were coming. There were many startups, many companies of media, multimedia. So for marketing, there are a lot of companies, but for finance, there were limited companies, and there were like banks and everything, but they were offering profile of sales, or like we have to sell the financial instruments, like be it insurance or be it mutual fund. So I kept myself away from them because I don't want a sales profile for that. So just don't look at the company and go for it. Research about that company, what profile they are offering to you. Just go through the job description, and after that apply for it. So then TCS came into the campus, and I was waiting for that only, that when will TCS come, because in TCS anyone cannot apply. They had a eligibility criteria, and as I told you that never in never leave a task incomplete, because in TCS the eligibility criteria was they want a BTech or a BCA. That was their eligibility criteria, and since I had already completed my BCA, so I was eligible for that. And many of the students who were like BBA, and after BBA they did MBA, they were not eligible for the recruitments only, because being an IT consultancy firm, they want that the candidate should have computers or technical knowledge with them. So since I did BCA, so I was eligible for the interview, and then the interview process were on.
Very nice. So what I think is, and I think I'm right, that you had all these things in your mind, and that's why you did BCA. And your research work was very, very efficient. And you did BCA, and you knew about TCS and their criteria of selecting recruitees from the campus interview who have completed BCA or BTech, being an IT firm. And as you said that you were waiting for TCS to come, so your was all planned and researched thing. That is very nice. And you said you did your specialization in finance, no? So you said that
Yeah.
marketing, there were many companies, and for finance, there were many companies, but they were not satisfying you because they were offering the sales profile. So you were not interested in that selling the finance this thing. So you waited for TCS to come, and TCS came. And before that, you said that in second year, you did 4 months of internship with Reliance Geo in communication department. So that helped you a lot, and that must have given you the required exposure for working in an IT firm. So all these things help a lot, I think. And these internships are basically for that, to give you the practical background and how the things were working on ground actually. So very nice.
Correct.
So you landed up with TCS. TCS selected you. And tell my students about the campus interview also. What, except for BCA or BTech degree, what else they wanted?
Okay, so like TCS has a couple of steps in the interview. First was a group discussion. GD round was there, and we were like there were teams of six people, and in those teams they were giving the topic, and we have to talk about that topic. Next was the technical round. The ones who are selected in from GD, they were up for the technical round, and in technical round they were asking. Like we had our capstone project in MBA. Capstone means whatever you have learned in the MBA, you have to apply that and you have to make one project out of it. So my project was related to markets only, how the market is going up and down and all the stocks and everything. So it was basically technical analysis, the charts and everything. So they asked me about that only. I had presented my capstone project also in front of them, and they were very much interested in that. And they asked me technical questions with that only. Because here also one more tip for the students, that you only give the interviewer the questions you want. So just speak that, whatever you know, just speak that in front of them, and they will retrieve the questions out of that only. So you are the one who are giving yourself questions. So I presented my capstone project, and then they started asking me, and I know everything about capstone project because I had made that. So the interview was gone pretty good, and after that there was one other round, that was HR round, in which they will brief you about the company structure, salary and everything. So it was HR round, and from ITN I was the only one who got selected at the end. So like in the end, three of the students were selected, and after technical round I was the only one who got selected for and this TCS.
Very nice. I only hope that you are not playing that trick with me. You give the questions to the person who is taking your interview. That's very nice. Actually, it happens because one wants to know about your field of interest only. And if you are discussing on something, the cross questioning is always from that topic. This I also keep telling my students for Viva in practicals, that please don't touch the subject about which you don't know. Please don't touch that topic. You always talk about the topic for which you know very well, like you know that topic very well, then only you start discussing about that topic. So this is what you have also said, that there were three rounds. One is GD round, the group discussion round, where were teams of six were there, and they had given you topic for the discussion. And after shortlisting from this group discussion round, there was a technical round. And as you mentioned very intelligently, that you had made a project in your MBA, and that project was on the technical analysis of stock market. So you discussed that only, and they asked you questions from that only, and you were very efficient and satisfying for them because it was your own project. And then few people, only three were shortlisted from this, and you went for the third round, that was HR round. And as you said that out of those three, only you were selected from ITM. So only one candidate was selected for TCS in finance, this thing, and that was you. Excellent. Congratulations once again. And
Thank you so much.
okay, so till now the journey is very good, bright. After TCS, what was the nature of job you were offered, and were you satisfied or not? And was there any problems? Were there any problems, or the it was going smooth? And now that you have completed more than 3 years in TCS, what are the changes you feel in yourself? And what are the positive things which you feel about your firm?
Okay, so TCS is like famous for taking care of their employees. So they will not give you so much of monetary benefits, but they will ensure that the employee is happy enough to be in company and never leaves the job. So that is with the TCS. So employee engagement and like employee taking care of their employee, they are best in that. So job satisfaction is there, and the working culture is also very good. You have a proper work life balance in the firm, because there is no such like targets or overload with you. And being from finance, I was given the finance profile itself. I was given FAO, that is finance and accounting operations. And I am dealing with a US client, and they are a insurance giant. They are Transamerica, and that company is basically insurance company in US, and the parent company is Aegon. So I am working in that, and they are outsourcing their finance operation to TCS. So basic consultancy firm is this only. The main companies from US or other global companies will outsource their work to Indian companies, because here the labor is cheap. That's why they outsource their operations in India. So basically, they are doing that only. They outsource their finance operation to TCS, and we are doing their all the finance related tasks. We are doing their investments. We are doing making their portfolios and everything. So yes, the work culture is good, and everything so far so good. So I'm happy with the company as of now.
Very nice. I have interviewed one more candidate who is also working in TCS, and she also said the same thing, that TCS is a employee friendly company. So this TCS, as you also said, that whether they pay you monetarily very good or not, but they will keep you happy, so that you should not leave TCS. So that is very good thing about this firm, and you are satisfied with the work culture also. And the nature of job, you said that basically they are outsourcing, and you are with the dealing with the US clients, so your time zone must be as per their time zone. So it must be the odd hours
Correct.
working for you. Tell us something about that
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, sure. Actually, mine is like a real-time job. So when US markets are open, we have to work at that time, because it is purely like banking and finance sector. So like there also we had a proper ODCs. We cannot take our mobile phones or any paper or pen inside ODC, because it will breach their security. And working hours, I have my working hours from evening to midnight, like from 6 to 3 in the morning, as US market will close at 4:45 in the evening, and at that time Indian time is 3 in the morning. So yes, I have the graveyard shift, and like till now in the bachelor life, I didn't face any problem with that, because in our MBAs also we used to wake up till night to study in the exams. So till now I had not I do not have any problem with that. But later in my life, I think I have to change this shift to the morning shift. Let's see how it goes.
Ah. Yes, yes, I can very well understand that problem of yours, and that is, I think, the big challenge of your being with the US clients, because as you said, you have to work from 6 in the evening to 3 in the morning. So that is quite
Yeah.
odd hours of working. Until now, because you are bachelor, you are managing it well. and more so you are working from home. So mother care is there, so you need not worry about anything. But still, I feel that it's very responsible job, and you have to take care of all these things when you are doing all these jobs, and when you are managing their insurance, you are managing your finances. So they are believing in you, and you have to be up to their trust. So you have to keep their trust in you, and for that you have to be responsible enough. That is very nice. Everything is going very perfect till now. And you have discussed about the positive things. One challenge is orders. Any other challenges working with TCS?
Like I said, TCS will not give you monetary benefits, like so many monetary benefits like bonuses and promotions and increments. They will give you, but slowly they will give you, not like a big bonus or like that. But they will make sure that you will not leave the company because the campuses are so like well structured. We have gym in our campus, we have libraries, canteens, playing zone, assembly zone, everything is there. So to make the employee happy, and we have so many clubs there, like you can go and play guitar, there is one Maitri club. You you can go and do public speaking, there is one Toastmasters club. So there are a lot of club to engage the employees.
But you said the job culture is very good, the working environment is very good, and you said the infrastructure is very attractive. There are many sort of clubs and all, but these days you must be missing all this because you all are working from home. So the company is also happy for not maintaining all those clubs and all, and you are also happy working from home. Okay, now that you have started as finance and accountancy operations, and now you are a team lead in cash treasury operations. So that is the change in your job profile, in your designation, being in TCS for last 3 years. Okay, I'm not asking about yours, but give me a rough idea, the approximate package and perks and allowances which they offer to a new candidate, and which they offer after certain promotions, and what is the increment criteria and all.
Okay. So it depends. Like if they are recruiting you from the campus, they will give you pretty good package. And if you are going through the campus drives and everything, then they will offer you a bit low because like in campus they are coming and they are searching and they are taking the candidate as per their choice. So they will also offer you that package. So if you are recruited from campus, they will offer you like around 5 to 6 lakhs per annum. And they will ensure everything, you know, everything, what is the job profile and you are matching with that or not. So they will give you that amount of package. And like we have bands in our organization, like band 1, 2, 3 and so on. So one is the associate level, two is the senior associate, then team lead, manager, customer lead, and then it will go to the higher managements. So I was recruited at band 3 only, but since I was fresher, I was not given a designation of team lead because that will be risky for them to give me a team of people and to manage the team of people. So they didn't give me a team lead designation. They given me as a senior associate only. They allow me to work with different people to adapt the corporate culture. And after 1 year, I was shifted to team lead, and they given me a team of 7 people in accounts payable. And after 2 years, I was shifted to cash management. It is kind of a more sensitive department. So I was shifted to cash management, and they given me team of 4 people. We have our BCP location at Kolkata. BCP is like business continuity plan. So if anything happens to Gandhinagar location, which is our office, so that location will work. So if any natural calamity comes, so work should not stop. Work should go on. So the Kolkata location will work. So I have certain associates in from Gandhinagar and from Kolkata who reports to me. So currently I am team lead for cash and management operations.
Very nice. very interesting things to learn from. That you there they are having band 1, 2, and 3, and though you were selected for band 3, they did not give you as a team lead job. They had given you senior associate only, and after seeing your work for a year or so, they shifted you to as a team lead with 7 people subordinating you, like, so you are subordinate. And you said that now you are having 4 people, and you told us about the BCP also for working in all type of calamities. The work should never stop. The show must go
Yeah.
on, and that is very good. And it should be like that. Everything should go on. Doesn't matter whatever happens. So that is very good
True.
lesson. And now I think you have told us about everything about your career and your educational qualifications. If I'm missing out something which you want to tell my students, please go ahead.
Just one thing, just a last tip, you can say, like knowledge, for me, knowledge will never go waste. Like, do whatever you want, knowledge will never go waste. And like, if you see my career path from a bird's eye view, you will see that it is switching from this and that, from that. But if you put yourself in my shoes and you will look back, then you can see the dots connecting themselves. So it was like, if you see from my perspective, it was everything like it was pre-planned. But yeah, so everything at the end will be good. And if it is not good, then picture abhi baki hai mere dost.
Bilkul, very nice. So it was a very morale boosting message from Purnima, the bright girl in front of us, gold medalist BCA from Kota University, topper of Kota University. And when I started interview with her, I was also thinking about the turns and twists she has taken. But now, at the end of the interview, I must say that it was all planned by her. It was all her research, and she went as per her plan. And as she said that whatever ends well is well, it's very well. And till now, it's very well with her. And as she said, you should never lose hope. You should never lose your heart. You should keep on working, and the things will come, the days will come when you want the work environment, when you want the things going as your way. But for that, you have to be consistent. You have to be working hard for in that path, and you have to be keep on walking there. You don't have to leave your path in between. That was the greatest message from Purnima. Thank you so much, Purnima. And here again, I want to buck up all my girl students that please buck up and become a very good professional like Purnima is these days in TCS. Thank you so much, Purnima, for joining us and in giving us information about your career path. We are wishing you all the very best. Wish you all the very best with your farm, with your promotions, with your increments, and with your profile as you want it to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you. Thank you.